Hello YouTube, this is JP963 here. Hello out there everybody, this is JP963 here, and tonight I'd like to talk to y'all a little bit about alternative lighting for an economic collapse, a natural disaster, or even a raw type situation. It's always good to have extra sources of lights available to you at all times, because you never know when the power is going to go off, and at nighttime you'll need to see. And I figured I'd just put this video together to maybe give y'all some ideas of different types of alternative power or alternatively powered lights. First off, we're going to start off with lanterns, a couple different types of lanterns that I have. This one right here, this is a Coleman lantern. It takes Coleman fuel. You can buy it in the metal can, and you'll notice that it has the pump up here and the control for the light, and you fill it up with the in the little spot right there that's got the little cap. Very useful. Next to this one is another type of a lantern. Yes, I know the mantle right there broke off. They fell off last time I come home from camping. But I always keep spare mantles. And my best advice for storing your mantles so you always know where they're at, I always keep mine in my medical kit. That way, if I ever break a mantle and I need one, it's right there in the drive with my medical supplies. And I always have a medical kit, so I know I've always got my mantles. And this here takes, I think, the 1 pound propane bottle. So you have the Coleman fuel and the Coleman propane. Both of these are pretty common, and fuel for both of these should be readily available. Okay, another type of lantern, or a couple other types of lanterns that I have, is this one right here. This is a LED lantern. It winds up. There's no need in changing batteries. There's no fuel required, no nothing. I think 1 minute of cranking is supposed to give you 30 minutes of light. It's LED, and it wasn't very expensive. I think maybe $15, and you never have to replace the batteries. And next to that one, this is another type of lantern. It's a LED. This one takes D batteries, so eventually the battery's going to run out for these, so you'll need a stockpile of batteries to be able to power these. And next up on lighting will be flashlights. It's definitely a good idea to have a bunch of flashlights, different styles of flashlights. It's good to have at least one flashlight for every type of battery that you can think of. D, C, AA, AAA, because you never know what type of batteries you might be able to run across. And if you can run across batteries, when batteries are unavailable, whatever batteries you can run across, you'll want to be able to use. So it's a good idea to at least have one kind of good light for every type of batteries that you can think of. And this little deal right here, this is a wind-up light. Let me bring it in the light here. There we go. This is a wind-up light. Also, it's a LED. Also serves as a radio, and it's hand-powered. There's no need for batteries, and you never have to worry about the light going out. You just keep cranking and you'll have power. Same thing with the radio. It's a hand-cranked radio and light all in one. It's this here in particular is an Energizer Weather Ready. It has alarm, flashlight, which it's got red light, well, white light, red lights, or no lights. Very handy deal to have in your bug out bag or your backpack if you like hiking a lot. It's very handy to have. Your batteries will never go dead. As long as you're able to crank this baby, you'll get use out of it. um, another aspect to lighting is candles. Can never have enough candles. My best advice would be to go to yard sales to find candles. A lot of times you can find candles that are burnt down just a little bit for 5 cents a piece. This little 4-pack of candles is 50 cents. Well worth it. Each one of these I could probably burn in the evening, maybe one of these a night, and should provide me with a couple hours of good lighting. And say, like these right here, I run across a deal at a yard sale. I think there was 100 of these. You know, they're not very big, they're not real fancy, plastic containers, but it's candle nonetheless. And I think I picked up 100 of these for like $5 at a yard sale. Yard sales are great places to look for supplies. A lot of times you can find these lanterns, like these propanes or these older Coleman. A lot of times if I find these, this particular, the propane or the Coleman fuel, I've got about 5 or 6 of them. I think maybe 3 or 4 of them work. The other are for parts. Good idea. Even if you run across some real cheap and they don't work, they're great for parts. And same thing with this one. Sometimes you can run across them at yard sales, $5, $10, $15. Well worth the money. Another good thing about the back to the candles. Another good thing about the candles is when you burnt the candle out, you have a little bit of wax left over. You want to take and scrape all the wax into like a metal coffee can or a metal can of some type. And if you think ahead, you can buy packs of these oil lamp wicks. This in particular one, where it's so wide, I could cut it into strips of 3, and I could take and melt down all my shavings of my leftover candles. I can melt them down, pour them into another container, cut this into 3, put one of these per candle, and make my own candles. So not only am I using, the resource of the candles, but I'm using what's left over again too, recycling, to make more light. So I carry these in my backpack, bug out bag, very handy to have. And you want to make sure that you have a good supply of fuel or batteries or whatever it's needed to power your lights. For my propane lights, I also have a propane cook stove, so therefore my fuels can use or go both to the lantern and my cook stove. Also on my regular Coleman fuel, I have Coleman fuel lanterns and cook stove, so both of these take the same type of fuel, and both of these take the same type of fuel. That's something to consider. I mean, if you're on a really tight budget, you're better off to buy fuel for one type of fuel that powers everything, as opposed to one of this, one of that, one of this, and one of that. Just again, something to consider. And another alternative lighting source that I'd like to touch on are going to be oil lamps. There's many different types of oil lamps. You can find these older model oil lanterns, and I have a few small, real small, little tabletop oil lanterns right here, and I got a couple right there. These are really small. I mean, as you can see by the size of my hand compared to it, these are really small, and these are really nice if you need to use the bathroom in the middle of the night or something. You can just grab a hold of it and carry it in. It's got a little stand on it. You can set it down on the back of the toilet, do your business. If you have no water to flush, you could always take a bucket of water, dump down toilet to help you flush. But these are really handy to have. A lot of times you can find these also at yard sales. Definitely worth the money if you can find them. And another type of oil lamp that's pretty common is this kind right here. You can usually find these pretty cheap at the dollar stores or yard sales, or run across some different places. You can go to Walmart or a Big Lots or wherever, whatever type of stores around you. But just again, quick summary. Different types of lighting to consider are oil lamps. Many different varieties. Make sure you have fuel for those. Candles. Candles are a must. Wherever you can find them, get them. Especially if they're cheap. Even if they're half used. If they're at a yard sale for 5 cents and they've got 20 of them, you got 20 candles for $1. And if you can stretch that out right, you can make them 20 candles last you maybe a week or two, maybe 3 weeks. Burning a couple hours in the evening. So definitely money well spent while you got it, while money's useful. You got propane, the regular Coleman fuel, or white fuel, or whatever you want to call it. And you got your hand crank, rechargeable, LED. You got your battery powered, and you got your battery powered lights. And these headlamps right here, I highly recommend them. You can use them hands-free. You can shine exactly where you're looking at. Very, very handy. And they're LED also, and batteries last a long time. So, there it is. This is just, oh, before I go, one other real important source of lighting that I like, that a lot of people don't consider, is, voila, my wood stove. Not only do I have a source of heat, not only do I have a source of place to cook my food, but I have lighting. And when all the power is out, I can get a fire going that lights up my whole living room. I definitely recommend a wood stove. But that's another alternative source of light. Well, this is JP963 signing off. I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all are warm. And I'll talk to you again soon. I'd just like to remind everybody to cherish your friends and your family, because what you have today might not be here tomorrow. Y'all take care, be safe, and God bless. Thanks for watching.